Hello ladies and any gentlemen that might be watching this video. I wanted to show you a technique that I done with Tim Holtz out at CHA this January. I'm using a couple of things different to what he did, but just to show you basically how it's done. Great little flower embellishments. Basically I've just taken some grunge paper, very similar to the grunge board, but it's a lot thinner and quite a lot pliable. Just a sheet of a page out of a book, I should say, not a sheet, a page out of an old book that has been finished with reading. I hope I finished reading it anyway. And I'm just covering it in the Aleene's tacky glue. For those of you that have done any of our canvas albums with us, you'll know Aleene's tacky glue is just the best. It really is fantastic for fabric, and it works just as well with paper, especially in the fact that it won't bubble the paper or, you know, buckle it up or anything. It's really good stuff. So I'm just covering the paper with it, and then I'm going to use a brayer just to flatten it all out, just to make sure it's really stuck down well. I've got no little air bubbles in it. If you haven't got a brayer, seriously, don't rush out and buy one. Just use a rolling pin, anything cylindrical, i.e. a wine bottle, ladies. I'm sure you've all got a wine bottle, probably all empty, knowing you lot, but you've probably all got wine bottles. So just make sure it's really nice and flat on there, the paper. And then I've just run it through the Cuttlebug machine with a die, sorry, and then cut them out. Sorry, I haven't eaten yet, so I'm like flagging here. And then you've got your die-shaped flowers, okay, covered in paper. And they look really, really nice. I love them how they look like that. But I want to give a bit of colour to them. So I'm going to use the distress inks. When I use my distress inks, sometimes I go direct to paper, but a lot of the time I like to use the foam applicators. They really do make a difference when you're applying it. If you just want a lighter look, if you don't want it too heavy going, if I'm crinkling up something and distressing it in that respect, then yeah, I go direct to paper. Those of you that are coming on our stamping techniques course in a few weeks, you're going to enjoy what we're going to be doing there. There's some good little techniques on that one. So I'm just going to apply the antique linen I think I've used on this one straight onto the large flower. I'm also going to put it on the small flower as well. There is a bit in here where you can tell where I've been doing it in the shop, where I had to go off and help a customer, so I had to pause it. I think it's coming up in just a minute. I see the lid go on. There we go. Now I've come back and the lid's come off again. So we start again. So now I'm carrying on with my antique linen because, as I say, I got disturbed, but there you go. That's what we're there for, to help the people. As I say, colouring it with the antique linen. Then I'm gonna, I don't know how many times I've said antique linen now. Honestly, I haven't got loads and I'm trying to sell them. Then I'm gonna use I think it was brick red, this one. It's quite an intense colour, this one. It's quite nice. I'm pleased to say Tim Holtz has brought out some quite pastel-y ones, which is good for him. He's brought out like a pastel paper pad as well. It's still all grungy, but then that's his style, isn't it? But it's nice to see there's some sort of softer colours going on there. These inks go a long, long way on these foam applicators, and you don't have to keep re-inking all the time. You're only using a tiny amount. And I like to just add a little bit around the edge of the petals, just to give it a bit of a lift, so it's not too, you know, just flat on one colour. They're great for mixing colours and blending and toning. They're just really good for that. I didn't want the flowers completely flat, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, with a heat gun, I'm just going to dry them off first of all, just to make sure the ink's not wet. But also with grunge paper, if you heat it, you can then put it into a position, hold it there, let it cool down, and it will take that, you know, that shape. So you'll notice I'm going to do it with this, and then I'm going to put it into my hand and just push it in there, and then it's going to help lift those petals so that they stay lifted up. This is a great technique as well. We've done this a few years back actually on ribbon, where we wrapped some ribbon around a wooden dowel. Didn't use a heat gun, we actually put it in the microwave. Not the best thing, because like microwave heat and wooden dowels actually end up burning. It was a terrible smell, but it did work. So you wrap the ribbon round, stick it in the microwave for a few seconds, bring it back out, let it cool while it's still wrapped round the dowel, and then as you pull the dowel away, you've got curly ribbon, and it just looks gorgeous, really, really nice. So as you can see here, I'm holding it in, so I'm just holding it there just so it cools down in my hand. It's not really hot, so don't worry, you're not going to burn yourself. And there you can see that the petals have stayed upright, so I wanted them to stay there. So I'm going to do this on all three of them. While this is happening, I'll just jump ahead because I don't actually show you this, but I'll tell you about it. It's the button that I'm going to put as the centerpiece. It's just plain wooden button. We sell them in the shop in different sizes, which we made with snowmen last year and the year before and that, and they're great for that. But also I've just went up to Craft Arena upstairs, good old Denise, and got some like anchor threads, DMC threads, better not, you know, endorse one or the other, and just popped it through, just tied it through. And then using my Aleene's tacky glue, I'm going to be able to just stick the whole lot together again because this glue is just really fab. Once you get going on these, you can cut so many different shapes out. They work well with hearts. Flowers work brilliant, obviously, because we all like flowers. But, you know, you could do your own vase of flowers. And it's just, you can just do little tiny ones and really great big ones. And, oh, yeah, because we've got some new stuff coming that will do great big flowers as well. So that's going to be lovely. So there we go. Just going to glue it all together. Aleene's tacky glue, got to be one of the best things ever. Stick it all down, stick the button down on top of that, just hold it for a while because it is a wet glue, so you need to just let it set, but it sets quite quickly actually. I'm also just using the ink that was still on my foam pad, just going to add a little bit of that around the button, just so the button's not too plain. There we go, just a little bit more around the edge there, and then I'll give you a little bit of a close-up so that you can see it a bit better. Turn that over so it just looks neater, although I like the other side. There we go, nice little embellishment. Thanks for watching.